Hello guys, welcome back to this challenge. We are getting started now. Let's go. Don't take breaks from distraction, instead take break from focus. Many assume that they can switch between a state of distraction and one of concentration as needed, but as I just argued, this assumption is optimistic. Once you have wired for distraction, you crave it. Motivated by this reality, this structure is designed to help you rewire your brain to confront free your better suited on staying on task. Before diving into the details, let's start by considering a popular suggestion for distraction addiction that does not quite solve our problem. The internet sabhat, sometimes called a digital detox. In its basic form, this ritual asks you to put aside regular time, typically one day a week, where you refrain from network technology in the same way that Sabbath in the Sab, Sabbath in the Hebrew Bible induces a period of quiet and reflection well suited to appreciate God's and His work. The internet Sabbath meant to remind you of what you miss when you are glued to a screen. It's unclear who first introduced the internet Sabbath concept, but the credits for popularizing the idea often goes to the journalist William Powers, who promoted the practice in his 2010 reflection on technology and human happiness. Hamlet Blackberry as Powers later summarizes in an interview, do what through there, which is to learn to have little disconnectedness within the connected worlds. Do not run away. Don't run away. A lot of advice for the power problem or distraction follows this general template of finding occasional time to get away from the clutter. Some put aside 1 or 2 months a year to escape these teethers. Others follows powers one day a week advice while outside. Others put aside an hour or two every day for the same purpose. All form of this advice provides some benefits, but once we see the distraction problem in terms of brain wiring, it becomes clear that internet sabbath cannot be itself cure a distracted brain. If you eat healthy just one day a week, you are unlikely to lose weight, as the majority of your time is still spent grogging. Similarly, if you spend Similarly, if you spend it just one day a week resisting distraction, you are unlikely to diminish your brain craving for this stimuli, as most of your time is still spent giving it to it. I propose an alternative to internet sabbath. Instead of scheduling the occasional break from distractions so you can focus, you should instead schedule the occasional break from focus to give into distraction. So make journal time to be distracted. To make this suggestion more concrete, let's make this simplifying assumption that internet use is synchronous with seeking distracting stimuli. You can of course use internet in a way that is focused and deep, but for distraction addict that is quite difficult task. Similarly, let's consider in the absence of internet to be an in semi I don't can't speak this. With more focused work, you can of course find ways to be distracted without a network connection, but these tend to be easier to resist. With these rough categorizations established, the strategy works as follows. Schedule in advance when you will use the internet and then avoid it together outside this time. I suggest that you keep a notepad near your computer at work. On this notepad, record the next time you are allowed to use the internet. Until you arrive at that time, absolutely no internet network connectivity is allowed. No matter how tempting, the idea motivating this strategy is that the use of restricting service does not by itself reduces your brain ability to focus, but it's instead the constant switching from low stimuli high value activities of to high stimuli low value activities at the slightest hint of boredom or cognitive challenges that teaches your mind to never tolerate an absence of nullity. This constant switching can be understood analogically as weakening the mental muscles responsible for organizing the many sources vying for your attention by segregating internet use and therefore segregating distractions. You are minimizing the number of times you give into distraction. By doing so, you let these attention selecting muscles strengthen. For example, if you have scheduled your next internet block 30 minutes from the current moment, you have begun to feel bored and curb distraction. The next 30 minutes of resistance becomes a session of concentration calisthenics. A full day of scheduled distraction therefore becomes a full day of stimuli training and similar mental training. While the basic idea behind this strategy is straightforward, putting it into practice can be tricky. To help you succeed, here are three important points to consider. This strategy works even if your job requires lots of internet use and or prompt email replies. Regardless of how you schedule your internet blocks, you must keep the time outside these blocks absolutely free from the internet uses. Scheduling internet use at home as well as what can further improve your concentration training. So schedule the time. So I will schedule the time of using internet, I guess 3:30 to 4. That is the 30-minute window where I can use my internet. Now I'm recording this video at I guess 2 p.m. I guess it's 2 p.m. right now, and I have to study. So let's let's finish this 3 minutes studying, and then I will go to studying. I will study. I don't know. I am distracted all day. I woke up at 8, and from then I did some work at home, and ever since I'm distracted, like I played 2 hours Minecraft, and it is very shitty feeling like you have an exam and you are not studying. But now I'm going to study because I said it on YouTube. So if I didn't, you guys will, make fun of me and all that. But work like Teddy Roosevelt. If you attend Harvard College during the 1876 and 1877 school year, you would likely notice a very mutton chopped brush and impossibly energetic freshman named Theodore Roosevelt. If you then proceed to befriend this young man, you had noticed a paradox. On one hand, his attention might appear to be hopelessly scattered, spread over what one classmate called an amazing array of interest, a list of that biographer Edmund Morris catalogs to be containing boxing, wrestling, bodybuilding, dancing lessons, poetry reading, and continuation of a lifetime obsession with naturalism. Roosevelt's landlord on the Wim Street was not pleased with her young tenant's tendency to dissect and stuff specimens in his rented room. These latter interest developed to the point that Roosevelt published his first book, The Summer Birds of the Adirondacks, In the summer after his first freshman year, it was well received in the bulletin of the Natal Ornithological Club, a publication, needlessly to say, which takes birds book quite seriously and was good enough to lead Morris to access Roosevelt at this young age to be the one of the most knowledgeable young naturalists in the United States. To support this extracurricular experience, Roosevelt had to severely restrict the time available for what should have been his primary focus. He studies at Harvard. He studies at Harvard. Morris used Roosevelt diary and letter from this period to estimate that the future president was spending no more than a quarter of the typical day studying. Quarter means 8. No, quarter is 1/4. So 24 divided by 4. So quarter like 6, right? 6. Yes, 6. So 6 hours of studying the president was doing. So I think that's about it for this. Let me write here. So that's about it for this video. Thank you. I'm going to study now about 6 hours.